What is going on, Raptors Nation? It is Luca here back with another video. So, Baltimore Ravens lost. That just tore my heart rate out. I mean, that was tough to see. The Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl, but we are not here to talk about the devastation of me being a Ravens fan. What we are here to talk about is the fact that the Raptors, they look really good in that loss against Atlanta. Now, I know that was a devastating loss too, but two different circumstances because, you got the Ravens who obviously wanted to win. They get to the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, the Raptors, they're in a rebuild. They weren't expected to win. But boy, oh boy, did they ever put up a fight in a game they had no business even being remotely close in, down a bunch of starters. And the Toronto Raptors just gave us one of the more entertaining games in quite some time. I mean, I was up on my feet till the end of that one. Like, that was just entertaining. And that was a moral victory for the Raptors. Obviously, it hurts to lose in the way that they did off the putback there, but the Toronto Raptors showed you a lot of good things in this one, guys. And that's what this rebuild is all about. We know it's not about wins and losses. The Raptors are not going to win a whole ton down the stretch here, but it's about coming away with positives from fun games like these. So we're going to talk about it. Before we dive right into it, guys, do me a solid, hit a like on the video, and also please subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content. We're almost at 1,000 subs over here on the Raptors Nation YouTube channel, so definitely help us hit that. It would be greatly appreciated. So with the way this one was looking in the first quarter, I'm not going to lie, I thought, man, is this going to be another rout at the hands of Atlanta? Like, Atlanta's not a good team. They were missing DeJounte Murray, but I feel like the Hawks are in denial, kind of like how the Raptors were in denial for all those years. The Hawks need to rebuild. This is a bad team that almost lost this game to the shorthanded rebuilding Raptors because the Raptors were without Jakob Poeltl once again. They were without Emmanuel Quickley once again, and RJ Barrett was out of this one as well. So super shorthanded on the road with the way that first quarter started, energy was in there. You thought to yourself, is this going to be another ugly game? But that was not the case because cue the second quarter, the Raptors completely flipped this thing around, and it was a fun one from that quarter and on. The Raptors showing a lot of fight, and that second quarter was sparked by the bench. The Raptors bench absolutely outplayed the Hawks bench in this one, and I got to give all the credit in the world to three guys who really impressed me in this one, guys. We're going to start with Jordan Nwora. I said it on X. He's not just a throw-in in the Pascal Siakam deal. This guy can hoop, and Jordan Nwora showed that he can very well end up being a solid role player for the new look Raptors. Nwora was unbelievable, got hot in that second quarter, finished 7 of 16. He was 3 of 7 from 3. His playmaking was on point in this one. He had 6 assists. He had 9 rebounds, 24 points. He was a plus 11. And then how about Nwora? He almost single-handedly won the Raptors this game if it wasn't for the putback on the other end. Nwora played amazing defense on Trae Young. Young thought he was going to get the call. He didn't. Ball comes loose. Gradey Dick to Scotty Barnes for the go-ahead bucket. That was my Super Bowl. That was unbelievable to see the connection there. Nwora's tenacity, his defense, not giving up on the play. Gradey Dick having the great awareness, the wherewithal of what's going on in that moment, and then Barnes finishing. That was amazing, and I really thought the Raptors were going to win the game there off that terrific sequence. So Jordan Nwora, he showed you so many good things in this game. The guy can flat out ball. And look, if you follow Nwora before this trade, you already knew the guy could shoot. Once he's hot, he's hot. He had some nice performances, in the past. He's 25 years old. I'm really looking forward to what Nwora can continue to bring the Raptors, and he should definitely continue to get more and more opportunities here, even when guys like Quickley, Barrett come back. There's no reason why Nwora should be getting DNPs anymore. This dude has officially won me over. So it's great to see him. And then speaking of Gradey Dick, I mean, you got to love what you're seeing from the youngster. He continues to show you a lot of good things. 15 points. He was a plus 19 in 25 minutes, 5 of 12 from the field. He was hot from deep, 3 of 5. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, continues to do the little things well. You got to love Gradey Dick playing this well and now putting together, I have to say, a stretch of very sound basketball. This was a guy in Gradey Dick who you were concerned about with the way that he looked, wasn't able to hit that three, which was his calling card coming on over from college. But now Gradey Dick looking more and more comfortable. So Gradey, Nwora, Jonte Porter. I mean, we've seen it from him, right? This stems back to just the beginning of the new year of him getting opportunities and him making the most out of them with the Raptors already thin with their front court. Obviously, Pirtle's been out and they traded Siakam, but Jonte Porter, another sound game. 12 points. He was a plus 14, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals in 19 minutes of action, 3 of 4 from deep. I mean, being a true stretch big, something that the Raptors have been longing for. So, I mean, those 3 guys in particular really gave the Raptors life, which carried them almost to the finish line of getting this win. So, all 3 of those guys just very, very impressive with the way they were able to contribute in this one. And then you look at Scotty Barnes. He did have a nice game. He really impressed me defensively. The thing about Barnes is, offensively, he's going to have his off nights, but he always brings it defensively, which is what you love to see. I mean, you look at Barnes, he had 2 big blocks in this one. He had 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 24 points. He was 8 of 14 from the field, and he was 8 of 8 from the free throw line. I know he didn't get the go-ahead bucket at the end when he had that ISO call for him, but again, Barnes doing a good job, being in the right place, right time, and finishing with the dunk from Nwora, creating the turnover. But yeah, Barnes, I mean, what I'll say about Barnes is this. There was an instance in this game where he let his frustration get the best of him, and he basically had a take foul on Trae Young. It was really, really weird to see. I mean, yeah, Barnes just let his emotions get the better of him in that situation. And I know Barnes is young, and we're going to cut him a lot of slack, but I just want to see him control his emotions, as the Raptors are going to go through these rough patches. Just continue to stay, very level-headed. And that's the thing with Barnes. We know he plays with such a high motor, great energy, but if he can just keep those emotions tempered and, relay that energy with his performance instead of, constantly arguing or getting upset or just doing things like he did there of making a silly foul, I think that's going to help Scotty a lot. And obviously Scotty's got so much more room to develop, but he has done a lot of good things. And I think just as fans, you got to stay patient with him. I know fans are already looking at Scotty to take over and be the superstar type player in this rebuild. A lot has gone on. Like, these guys are still trying to settle in. The roster's going to look a lot different in all likelihood past the deadline. So there's a lot of moving pieces here. A lot has gone on. Stay patient with Barnes is what I'll tell people who are kind of, a little weary of his performances as of late. He did have 5 turnovers. I did state in the past he's got to clean that up as well. But, you got 14 from Dennis, Gary Trent Jr., he had 16. Bruce Brown had 11 points. And then Thad Young had 4. But again, guys, if you are tracking wins and losses, what I'll tell you is don't, because if you look at this from the perspective of, the Raptors lost, you're going to be disappointed. But if you look at this through the lens of, the Raptors are clearly in a rebuild. In all likelihood, they're tanking at this point. Yeah, this win would have probably pulled them, I believe, a game out of the play-in, but it's not about the play-in right now. It's about developing winning habits and building off the positives. And there were a lot of positives in this one that the Raptors can take away from. The Raptors, 29 assists on 41 made field goals. They did an excellent job moving the basketball. Their defense made stops when they needed to. Obviously, at the end there, rebounding continues to be an issue, especially when they don't have Jakob Poeltl there. And they got dominated in points in the paint, which has been the case. But you got to credit the Raptors. They got down in this one early. They didn't just, put their head down and let this game get out of hand. No, they actually made this a contest. They made it a game. And like I said, this was a very fun one to watch. I haven't had this much fun watching a Raptors game since the Raptors blew out the Heat. So that's all you can ask for, right, in this rebuild. You want the Raptors to be competitive, and even if they don't win, they show you some things that make you feel good about the future. And there were a lot of positive takeaways from this one. So let me know your thoughts, guys. What were your takeaways from this game? And yeah, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new for more. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.